Your turn, Yugi boy.
What is up, guys? This is AlintheaYoh coming at you today with a deck profile, an updated one of my school servants with the Shinran Yui archetype engine. So without further ado, we'll go straight into it. So today it's going to be fun because we all love school servant, as we all know. So starting us off, we have the king himself, 3 king of the school servant. You play this deck because you want to summon this card, and that's kind of it. So, King School 7, of course, will come out with big attack and be able to really hurt your opponent. It's one of the key cards. You have to play it at 3, in my opinion, otherwise you're not playing the deck right. Next up, we have 3 Unizombie. Unizombie's absolutely insane just because it gets the whole deck running. It gets it completely functioning, and now the fact that we have access to Solitaire. Solitaire means that we have access to this, and then you can start making your plays, and the deck is a lot more consistent just because of that. So, Unizombie is a complete 3 of, in my opinion. Don't need to change it from that. Next up, we have 2 School Servants and then 2 White Prince. So a lot of people will say, why are you running 2 and 2? Why are you not running like 3 of each, or 2 and 3, or whatever? It's simply down to the fact that I prefer to have these numbers. These numbers have worked for me in the past, and they work for me now. So that's why I have them. You can technically put like 3 White Prince and 2 of this. There's no point in having 3 vanillas and 2 of these, because it just doesn't make sense. You want to get White Prince off as much as possible, but resolving 2 is kind of enough in my opinion, but you can run 3 if you so wish, so it's just down to yourself really, and that is that. So going on to the next monster, we have 3 Lady in the White, the Queen herself, being able to just destroy your opponent and copy and protect yourself, from any destruction with regards to back row, and also because they can't be targeted or they're unaffected, and also that level 3 or lower zombie monsters, except for herself, can't die by battle. So really good cards. Just a level 3 is actually really important for the way that the deck functions and how you use Unizombie and that. Really good. 2 White Mare. White Mare is one of those cards that's constantly for me going to 2 to 3 to 2 to 3 because it's an incredible card. Being able to discard it and either put itself or a School Servant back from the Banished Zone into the graveyard, giving your King of School Servant an extra 2,000 attack, or being able to special summon a King of the School Servant or Lady in the White from your Banished Zone and still giving it an extra 1,000 attack because it counts itself. So it's a really good card, but it's space issues in here that I've just decided that I'm going to cut it down to 2 for now, and then we'll see how it goes. It's a pretty good card. So, going on to the Shinran Yui engine, we have 3 of the brand new Solitaire. It's quite ironic that it's called Solitaire. I did prefer the name Sage, but what can we do? Solitaire, it gives you the idea that you have to play with yourself for a bit with the cards, so it kind of works out, but, whatever. So, Solitaire is an absolutely incredible card. If you don't know what it does, you basically tribute 1 zombie monster on your side of the field to special summon 1 zombie tuner with 0 defense. And the only ones that are available right now are Shinran Yui Spectral Sword and also the Unizombie that you saw earlier. Then its second effect is when it's banished, you can special summon 1 banished Shinran Yui card except for itself. So there are a couple of things. For example, with Spectral Sword, you use Spectral Sword's effect. In fact, I'll get onto that in a little bit. You probably know about it, but I'll tell you later. But this is mainly here to just tribute to get off a Unizombie, and Unizombie is just absolutely incredible for this deck, as you've seen. So yeah, I'm so happy it's come out. Next up, we have 2 Spirit Master. Spirit Master is great simply because it allows you to bring back a Shinran Yui from your graveyard, or special summon 1 from your hand when it's normal summoned, and also that when it is banished, you get to destroy a face-up card on your opponent's side of the field. So using it with Swallow, it's really good. So 2 is actually pretty perfect. If you run it in pure, you want 3 in my opinion, but 2 for this is fine. 1 Smith, this is just to search any Shinran Yui cards that I do want. Smith is pretty decent at that when it is Synchro Summon, when you use it for a Synchro Summon. And then Spectral Sword to end the Shinran Yui part of the monsters. So Sword is really good, simply because when it's in the graveyard, except for the turn it was sent in there, you can banish this and a non-synchro, non-tuner, monster. And then special summon from your extra deck a zombie monster whose level is equal to the banished total. So if you banish Solitaire and this, you have a level 6, so you summon out Archfiend, which I'll show you in a little bit. Then Solitaire's effect kicks in, saying because it's been banished, you get to special summon a Shinran Yui banished monster except itself. So you bring back Spectral Swords, and Spectral Sword comes back onto the field, and then you can synchro up into a level 8, probably a Crystal Wing at that point. But it's down to yourself. So Sage is Sage is obviously amazing, but Spectral Sword's great, and that's the only why you run one, because you can loop it constantly. It's just really, really good in general. And then finally, we have the 3 Mizuki. Well, not finally, but nearly finally. 3 Mizuki, makes sense. You're running zombies. Really important card. And then finally, I've left in the Mathematician just for consistency issues, just to deck thin a bit. And yeah, just in general, it's still a good card. Going on to the spells, we have 3 Instant Fusion. Card's just still amazing, and I do love it. It has multiple uses in the deck, which you'll see when you go into the extra deck. But yeah, still really good card. 2 Allure Darkness, I'm still ashamed I don't have my second ulti. It's just ridiculous, but I haven't had a chance, surprisingly. But yeah, I will get my second ulti eventually. But yeah, to Allure Darkness, even though you do have the Shinran Yuis that are fires, it doesn't really matter too much. But it's still amazing. So, and you can still do the cute plays of activating it and then banishing a King of Skull Servant and then discarding White Mare to, you know, bring it back. So yeah, that's pretty cute, and I love doing that. 2 Twin Twister. Again, we don't really like back row all that much. We can deal with it, but this card's just good, and the free discards cost is nice. The 1 Foolish Burial, because we want stuff in the graveyard. We're zombies, it makes sense. And then finally, the 1 Burial. I still think this card should go to 2, and when it does, I'm going to be over the moon with joy. So going on to the traps, there's not that many, but we have 3 Shinran Yui Swallow Sage. Slash. This card's amazing. Being able to tribute a zombie monster on your side of the field and then destroy 2 cards your opponent controls, then banish a Sage, a Shinran Yui from your deck, and it's just so good because then obviously you trigger the Shinran Yui effects. Important thing to note is that you have to have a Shinran Yui in deck to activate this card. If you don't have a Shinran Yui in your deck, then you cannot activate this card. So it's a very important thing to remember, so use it wisely. So you could say you can only run 2 of this, but in my opinion, I like 3 because, you know, it's just an absolute blowout card if you resolve it properly. So I love it. And then finally, the Solemn Brigades. We have the 2 Strike and the 1 Warning, because they are the best cards currently to counter summons and effects. So yeah, that's why I run them. So that's 41 cards, I believe, the main deck is. So going on to the extra deck, we have 2 Cyframe Omega. Omega is just amazing. The extra deck is super tight in this build, I will be honest. But yeah, Omega is just great. You use it for normal shenanigans, and yeah, great card. Don't really say too much about it, to be honest. The 1 Trishula is so easy to make in this deck, just because I do have level 1s and I have a lot of level 4s. So yeah, it's good. The 1 Crystal Ring, as I said earlier, it's easy to make with Spectral Sword and Solitaire, and other ways you can make it too. But yeah, that's the main way you're going to be running it. Void Ogre Dragon, really strong card in this deck. Beals, again, it's very easy to summon, strong card against a lot of non-meta, so it's a pretty decent one at that. Shogun Saga, you don't know what it does. When it's synchro summoned, you can banish a zombie monster from your graveyard, and then you gain attack equal to its attack. So that's the main effect that you're really going to use with it, and it's just so good because you can kick off a lot of your Shinran Yui effects, but also you don't have to do that. You can just banish like a big attacking monster and gain that extra attack for big hits. So it's good. The 2 level 7s is Meteor Burst Dragon and also Clearwing. I really like these cards, and yeah, I don't think I'll ever change them. Format depending, of course, but yeah. Then we have 1 Coral Dragon. Coral Dragon is just absolutely amazing in this deck. Being able to just discard stuff. Some disgusting things is just discarding a Prince off this effect and then just going plus is just so good. Then the Spectral Sword target is obviously important. So the Archfiend Skull, the Zombie Skull, obviously good. Thing to know, if you watch my other videos, you'll know, but the Spectral Sword effect says that you special summon a zombie monster from your extra deck. You don't synchro summon. So that's why you can bring this out, because you might be saying, well, why don't you have Plague Spreader? That is why. So don't comment down in the section below saying, why are you not running Plague Spreader? You can't do it. I can. It's just the effect. Next up, we have the 1 Ghost Trick. The reason why I run this is because I run Thousand Eyes Restrict. These 2 work really well. Instant Fusion target, take something, and then you overlay with one of your other level 1s into Dolan, and then, yeah, you go plus, basically. So really, really nice. That is good. 1 Elder Entity Norden. Norden, of course, is so good in this deck because you can just easily make massive pluses with it, and especially if you open up like Sage and Unizombie. Well, obviously you're going to open up with Unizombie because you have Sage, but Solitaire, Sage, whatever you want to call it, and Instant Fusion is just so good. So yeah, Norden is absolutely amazing. And then finally we have the one Reaper on the Nightmare. You might not remember this card, but he is so good. I love him. It came out in Chronic Guardian all the way back in 2004, I think. I cannot remember off the top of my head. The one with Hell Poema on the front. Anyway, this card is exactly the same as Spirit Reaper. It can't be destroyed by battle. If it's targeted, it dies straight away. And when you attack and do battle damage to your opponent, you take a card out of their hand. The important thing is this card can attack directly. With Instant Fusion, if you Instant Fusion it, obviously that's the main way you're going to be getting it out, and it's in the graveyard, you can bring it back with Mizuki because it has been correctly fusion summoned, because that's what Instant Fusion does, and Mizuki brings back any zombie. So, you know, it's just really good, and it's a good defender, and just in general, being able to block your opponent and take cards out of their hands can sometimes be very nice. And at worst case scenario, if you have a Unizombie and an Instant Fusion, it's a straight away rank 8, level 8, if you do wish, but yeah, there's a lot of other combos you can do with it. So, that is it, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the updated version of my School Servants. I think this is one of the most consistent versions ever. Just because of the Sage. It's just so good. I do love it. I think that the deck overall is just really strong. Stronger than ever, really, I might say. The only way it's probably going to get stronger is if things like Painful Choice come back, but one can dream. Because it won't come back. And if that card ever came back, that would be the dumbest thing Konami have ever done. And I'll love it because I have a lot of decks that can use it, but never mind. So, that is it, guys. As I said, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck. Make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.